If you have ever considered giving the gift of love by becoming a foster parent, then there is a great conference coming up that you will not want to miss. Jenny Wright and Casey Belva join me this morning to tell us more about this wonderful conference. Ladies, great to have you both here.
Thanks, glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, let's just kind of dive right in, talk about how this all came about for a conference, because I think there is such a need for this for anyone that has ever considered fostering, because, I mean, it's like, where do you even begin, you know?
Right.
So who wants to jump in? Just tell me, I guess we'll start with you. Just tell us how it kind of came about, and you both have a personal story that I hope you'll share just a little bit of that this morning.
Yeah, and they're kind of joined together, our stories are. So
perfect.
we were in a small group together at our old church, and we felt called to start fostering. And so we shared that with our group, and before we actually started the process, Jenny and her husband were like, "Hey, we'll do this too with you."
Right.
It wasn't probably that easy, but
but it was in their heart as well. They had that desire there as well. Right.
And so we started through the process. We went through the classes when we were getting certified through the state, through DCS. And so once we did all the requirements, the home study and everything, we got our first placements. And one thing that we both found when people would come and talk to us, they would say, you know, we have always thought about fostering, or we've thought about adopting.
Right.
And so we kind of sat back and said, okay, what's the reason people aren't taking the next step?
Right.
And we just kind of decided that we thought it was a lack of information.
So a lack of knowledge and a lack of information. And so then you actually, did you foster before, or did you,
We went through at the same time. They got a call first, and our stories have kind of been a little different since then. They've had they've had a baby in their home. They got her at 8 days old.
Oh, wow.
And she's now their daughter.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
that's
a very happy ending
yes.
there. And a lot of times
Yes.
that does happen, not always, because I guess the goal in fostering is that you want to be able to get them back to their original parents.
Absolutely. Reunification is always the goal.
Okay. And I guess you need to know that, though, going into this, because I don't know how in the world, I know a lot of people that do this, but how you do not, I know you get so attached.
Right.
And I've seen, and just going through it through the eyes of my friends, it can be very difficult when you do have to return them to their home, but that is ultimately, the goal when you do that.
And that's the purpose, people always say, I could never do that because I would get so attached. And that's the purpose. The purpose is these kids deserve parents and families that are going to get too attached to them.
Right.
But it's hard.
So Casey, how did you get ready for a brand new baby? You said, how old was the baby? 8 days old?
8 days old.
How in the world did you prepare? Did you have enough time?
No,
You can't prepare. Yeah.
No, it was, I think we got the call around 6:30, and she was at our house by 11 that night. And but that's the beautiful thing about the community coming around you, is that we had friends. We say we had one friend that threw us a baby shower all by themselves, because they came and just filled our living room with just all this baby stuff. And Jenny can attest to that, just people pouring into the children they have in their home.
And again, that's why this conference is so important.
Absolutely.
So if you ever consider this, you've got a lot of great experts and people that are going to just kind of guide you through, give you that necessary information. You have a whole set of speakers.
Yes. Yeah, we, based on what Casey was saying, our experience with our church and our community and our families coming alongside us, not everybody can bring a kid into their home. My husband and I we've had 3 placements, and we've been able to really minister and pour into these kids. We've watched our church come alongside us. But if you can't bring a kid into your home, maybe you're the person who throws a baby shower. Maybe you're the person who, brings dinner over. Right. Or there's a whole different topic of adoption, either domestic or international adoption. So that's kind of the purpose with this conference. We have all these experts from a whole range of agencies that are answering questions and sharing information about everything from fostering a child to bringing your child home from Ethiopia to everything in between.
Okay, so definitely if the desire has been there, though, this is a great resource. Tell me a little bit more about the day. It's taking place at Lookout Valley Baptist.
It is.
Okay, so give us the details of the day, what we can kind of expect throughout the day.
It's January 21st, and it starts at 1:30, and we start with Rick Morton, who is the co-author of Orphanology and Knowing Orphans. And so he'll start the day off, and then the first half of the conference is going to be all about fostering. And so we'll have several speakers within that from local agencies. They're all local agencies, which is really awesome. And then the second half of the conference is all about adoption. We go from domestic adoption to international adoption. And the booths will be set up with all kinds of resources,
Okay.
so you can get your questions answered.
Okay, absolutely love this idea. Ladies, I appreciate you coming and sharing your story. I know that it's kind of hard to sometimes share that personal story, but we're so glad you did, because there probably are others that are out there that have considered this. So again, take advantage of this. Where can they go to register really quickly? At Facebook? Is that Give? Actually, I found it this morning. I did a little research myself. It's so easy. You just go to Facebook, type in Give Love Foster, and it just immediately, the rest of it, Adoption Conference, popped right up. So you can get details there, and it'll show you how you can get signed up and get there for sure. And there it is on
free
Facebook.
childcare.
And free
Right.
childcare, yes. Okay, ladies, also we've been talking about children. We've got to throw this in really quickly.